Thanks for tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports, a Tuesday night NBA presentation. It'll be Andre Bargnani and the Toronto Raptors facing off against Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now it's game time. To call the action, here are Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back with the HP Halftime Report.
We're coming at you from the peak, Chesapeake Energy Arena in beautiful Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as the Thunder prepare to take the floor. The starting five. This is our lineup brought to you by State Farm. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Serge Ibaka in this one?
Well, it didn't take long for Serge Ibaka to establish himself as one of the best shot blockers in the league. He has impeccable timing, and he's so athletic and tall with long arms, so he's really able to bother offensive players.
Ibaka just gives you everything you want out of a hustle player. I mean, he plays tough, in-your-face D, and on offense, he's got no problem banging down low for extra possessions or putback dunks, and he's becoming a little more polished in his face-up game.
Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the Hawks. And, of course, that game going to overtime, a very exciting finish there, but they stayed strong to the end and pulled it off.
Well, I'll bet they feel it never should have even gotten as far as overtime, but they kept their cool once it did get there, and they finished it off nicely.
Yeah, they got a second life when it got to OT, and they took that chance and ran with it.
And Kevin Durant, a deadly offensive weapon, and, he's only getting better. Last season, a career high in field goal percentage, just a hair under 50%.
Williams, defended by Durant. Good luck. Williams gets the bucket. Toronto on defense. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
They won that game at the offensive end.
How about that elevation? Man, some major hops and vertical there.
That's your point guard right there, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, aren't they? Some of the best athletes in the world playing that position.
Amazing. These guys able to create and dominate.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff.
Well, with such a young core and showing that they can be a team that can hold their own in the tough Western Conference, it's possible we could be looking at a decade-long run here with the Thunder, where they win multiple conference championships and maybe NBA titles as well.
Now here's Durant. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. Westbrook dishes to Ibaka. Perkins, the pass to Ibaka. Now recovering. The jump hook. Bargnani grabs the board. See, that's a good thought. You certainly have to think so, the way they are dominating their division and the rest of the West the past few years. What a solid young core they have to go with.
Yeah, they're fantastic, Kevin. Such a young team. They've been knocking on the door for a championship the last couple of years, and they should be a contender as long as they can keep this core together and stay healthy.
The dish to DeRozan. Over Harden. Here's Johnson. And the layup falls. Johnson's got his first basket.
Well, you're not going to get a more high-quality look than that. Terrific offensive rebound there.
Westbrook drives in.
Went to the windmill dunk to turn this place on its ear. I love it.
Yeah, this crowd is stunned.
And they should be, Kevin. That was one elaborate finish.
Now let's send it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Scott Brooks.
I asked him about the matchup problems created by a player like Andre Bargnani, a 7-foot sharpshooter. He said he can give us problems, no doubt. It's tough to really bother that shot, and he can also put it on the deck and drive. We've got to just get into his body, try to make him a facilitator rather than a scorer. Kevin, we'll see if they're successful.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Toronto at the ball, following the score by Oklahoma City. That's good. DeRozan's got his first basket of the night.
Well, Thunder head coach Scott Brooks had some pretty good days in his NBA career. Actually went undrafted out of UC Irvine, but ended up playing in the CBA and then played, I think, 8 or 9 years in the NBA. Ended up winning a title with Houston in 1994.
Now Lowry, James Harden missing on the three, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game. And the Raptors with the ball. Here's DeRozan, and it's blocked by Ibaka. Here's Durant, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Durant's got his second bucket tonight. Well, you mentioned Coach Brooks and his background as a point guard. You see a lot of former point guards, I think, Steve, becoming head coaches.
Yeah, it's true, Kevin. You think about the guys who have had to lead teams as point guards. It's a natural transition for them to go into coaching. They're used to directing traffic. They're used to kind of figuring things out during a game, so they have to think their way through a contest. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that point guards sometimes make good coaches.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot-blocking defenses from last season. Number 1, the Thunder.
Yeah, I think they're still living off that reputation a little bit from last year's performance. I mean, people were afraid to go inside against them last season.
Now here's Johnson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota. Cannot hit. Ibaka with some nice D. Lets it go with the 3. The rebound by Johnson. The Raptors have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. Williams, and the powerful one-handed slam.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one. Well, for Kevin Durant, it was a terrific season. Let's look at his numbers last season. First in scoring, and he was very solid from the foul line, closing out the year among the top 20 in terms of free throw percentage.
And, Steve, as you mentioned, I mean, he set the standard offensively with more points than any other player in the league. I mean, a really remarkable season for him.
Now here's Westbrook. Did an outstanding game against Atlanta.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. Find the gap in the defense and attack that rim with force.
He is so good at doing just that.
Maybe as good as anybody. Just so athletic and strong.
Here's DeRozan. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Minnesota. From deep Harden, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Raptors have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting.
And you think about Serge Ibaka playing for years with the Spanish national team. He's actually from Zaire, but as a Spanish citizen, he's played on that national team in Spain, teammates with the Gasol brothers. Talk about a scary front court.
And that one's good.
And the defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easily.
Harden dishes to Westbrook. It's Durant on the wing. From 15 feet away, rebound by the Raptors. And going back to Ibaka, he speaks 4 languages, English, French, Cotillion, and Lingala.
A world citizen in any way you look at it, but Thunder fans are hoping to keep him settled down in Oklahoma City for a long time.
Oklahoma City trailing. This game against Toronto here, it's their first look at the Raptors.
And this wasn't their most challenging opponent if you're talking about last year. They won both of these meetings. You know, and I think it goes without saying, guys, but his strength and body control scoring in close, that's what makes him special. You can see it with the shooting percentages inside. He's a tremendous finisher.
And late in the game, guys, down the stretch, when some players freeze up and run away from the ball, he's the one saying, "Give me the pumpkin." He's a clutch scorer, no doubt about it.
DeRozan against Harden. DeRozan's shot is good. DeRozan's got his second basket. And as Steve just pointed out, they did what you would have expected them in those 2 games. He took it to an opponent.
Oh, get it! Oh, what now? Man, oh man, finishing with flavor.
Yeah, he put something extra on that one. You're right.
And the bench going wild, guys. They love it. What an amazing dunk.
By any measure, it was not a memorable season for the Raptors last season. But they can take away that they held their own against the West, Kevin. 8-10 against the Western Conference.
Not bad. Shots good from Bargnani.
It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
This is an interesting matchup. Neither team has been able to get an edge.
I tell you what, it's been enjoyable to watch this one. I mean, they haven't given an inch to each other, and neither side is backing down in this one.
Lowry against Westbrook. Lowry passes to Williams. Over Durant. Williams can't get it to go. 8 and 10, like you talked about, Clark, might not sound like much, but it is better than a lot.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
And check out your point guard showing you major bounce above the rim.
How about this? The smaller the player, the bigger the highlight.
I love that.
And that was a highlight. Terrific finish.
Lowry kicks to Bargnani. Over Perkins. No good from Bargnani.
Well, one thing that you can't say is that the Thunder's rise to the top caught anyone by surprise. In the annual GM survey before the season started, more than 2/3 of the general managers in the league picked Oklahoma City to win the West.
And you look at the roster they have, and Steve, you kind of alluded to it, around the league they were garnering great success. The stars like Westbrook and Durant, so much youth, it's no wonder all those GMs, Clark, that Steve was just talking about, picked Oklahoma City.
And the scary thing is that they'll keep getting picked over and over again. I mean, they have a lot of depth and a lot of skill, and I just see them getting better and better each season.
Lowry with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. 6 on the shot clock. From 10 feet out. Rejected by Westbrook. Left side, Westbrook. Right side, Westbrook. Pass to Harden. And stolen by Williams. 1 second left. And that's not going to go. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Thunder lead by 6. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily.
The NBA season gains momentum. LeBron James and the Miami Heat take on Rudy Gay and the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the NBA next Sunday.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And for the Thunder guys, what stands out to you so far?
And that first quarter was all about pace, guys, because this club really got out into transition, and that's how they built this lead.
They like to play fast, and they're doing a nice job filling the lane.
Setting the floor for the Raptors. Their backcourt is Lowry and DeRozan. Bargnani is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Williams at the 3. Back to Durant. Open look. Gets it to go. Durant's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Thunder.
They are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
And Steve, if I'm them, I'd keep going right to the heart of that defense like they have been until they do something about it. If they don't offer resistance, take everything you can get in there.
No good from Bargnani.
Well, I think Andrea Bargnani just has so much potential. Got out to that great start last season. Showed a ton of progress, but then a calf injury caused him to miss some time. Put a little damper on his improvement.
Well, that's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, DeMar DeRozan is blessed with great size and great athleticism, but still he's working to realize all of that potential. Coach Dwayne Casey is hoping he can become their perimeter stopper. Coach Casey said that's our challenge to him, to be a better defender, to guard the best 2 guards in the league. He has the quick feet, quick hands, athletic ability. There is no reason he should not be able to be an elite defender. Guys, let's see how it plays out.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks. He dishes it to Williams. Johnson sends the screen for Williams. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ibaka with some nice D.
And you know, guys, for Bargnani last season, as you mentioned, kind of a mixed bag. You know, he missed more than half of the season, yet when he did play, he was as productive as ever in terms of upping his rebounding and assist totals. So we'll kind of see what he does this year. I think he's got high expectations, and so does his team.
You know, a lot of people have asked if a town like Oklahoma City might be a little too slow for a superstar like Kevin Durant, but that's not really his personality. He's a baller. He just wants to stay in the gym and play on a winning team, so this is a perfect spot for him.
The first one falls. You know, Durant is a great kid. You know why he wears number 35? That was the age of his mentor. When he was growing up, he had an AAU coach that he grew very, very close to, and at 35 years of age, the guy was murdered. So to remember him and to serve as inspiration for Durant, he wears the uniform number 35. So that's the kind of kid he is. So when you hear about a kid working on his game like that, you know, that's what Durant loves. He's all about basketball.
Yeah, he really is. Loves being in the gym, loves the challenge of trying to get better, and loves the element of competition that is the game. And when you've got his skills and gifts and ability, and you add the motor that he has to that, you got something special that's going to be our treat to watch for years to come.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Passes it to Bargnani. He's against Perkins. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Bargnani is just so tough to cover because he's a 7-footer with 3-point range, but he also has the ability to put the ball on the floor and take you off the dribble. So he's really a matchup nightmare for teams.
And for Bargnani, you know he's going to be a mismatch offensively. The key, Clark, for him has to be his defense.
Yeah, he can get overpowered inside a little bit, Kevin. He's just not that strong or physical player in body or mindset. I think they need to make full use of his frame and have him play a little more like a 7-footer defensively.
Here's Williams. That falls. Nice feed this time from Jose Calderon. The Thunder leading by 8. Left side, Westbrook. Kicks to Durant. Durant drawing the double team. In low to Ibaka. Jams it straight down.
That was a nice, strong one-hand jam there.
Yeah, brought it back and ripped it down.
That's how you do it. That's nice. You know, I thought Toronto made a bold move drafting Valanciunas last year because they knew he wouldn't be able to come over and play for a full season. But that could turn into one of the turning points for this franchise because he has the chance to be an excellent player. And between he and Bargnani, this is a club that could turn it around pretty quickly now.
It's stolen by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. There's the killer two-handed slam.
I like the awareness they had there. Guys were headed out on the break the instant the steal was made.
And they got the easy bucket because of it.
I remember teams were reluctant to wait on Valanciunas to come over, but the Raptors, Clark, as I go back down the memory bank, seem to see the long-term benefit of taking him, and it gets paid off.
And more importantly, he feels a need. I mean, they need that strong inside presence, and he'll give it to them with time, as Steve said. This could be a turning point for the franchise, in my opinion.
Shot clock at 6. Calderon dishes to Bargnani. Serge Ibaka with the rebound. Ibaka's got 7 rebounds in the game.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound category. They've got to continue their work on the glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they're on the right side of the ledger, and that is all that matters to them right now with the lead they have. 6 points in short order. 2 straight from deep. That's what can happen with the 3-ball.
Yep, they got it going. Nice, clean looks.
And DeRozan kicks to Calderon. Here's Williams. The shot's good on the assist by Calderon. Williams has got 8 points. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Boy, the Raptors had a bumpy trip of it last year. I mean, in large part because they just couldn't get the points they needed away from home. Struggled on the road as a team.
James Harden, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And then for Toronto, Landry Fields comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Lowry in for Jose Calderon. Raptors trail by 10. Lowry with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. A shot by Lowry, no good. You're right, Clark. Going back to the Raptors on the road, they finished in the bottom 3 in points scored when they were away from the Air Canada Center up in up in Toronto, Steve. They've got to do better when away.
Yeah, under 90 points a game for them on the road. And, it was an interesting season for Toronto under Dwayne Casey. They made defense a priority. And sometimes when you focus so much on defense, your offense suffers, and you kind of struggle to find that balance that you need. But I do believe Toronto is heading in the right direction.
Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Williams passes to Bargnani. There's the pass to Johnson. Ibaka with some nice D. The Thunder leading by 13. Harden kicks to Westbrook. Left side, Ibaka. Harden outside. Jacks up a three. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing them. I think they've got to find a way to chase them off the three-point line.
Offensive rebound. Johnson kicks to Fields. Back to Johnson. Second shot opportunity. The offensive rebound. Bargnani. Bargnani gets a screen from Johnson. Bargnani dishes to Lowry. Outside Williams. And he feeds it to Fields. He passes it to Bargnani. And again, no good by Toronto.
Unfortunately, he just has not been able to produce offensively to this point.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Guys, a very interesting motivational object for the Raptors. Coach Dwayne Casey had a 1,300-pound boulder placed in the Raptors dressing room. He said it's from a story about a stone cutter. Every time a stone cutter hits a rock, it may not break. You may have to hit it 100 times, but on that 101st time you hit it, now you cause the rock to crack. Now the team motto has become, pound the rock. It's a metaphor for working hard, eventually paying off. Casey said, we've got to keep pounding. We've got to keep hitting the rock, and eventually it will crack. That's why we work together every day to get better. Kevin, pretty hard to ignore a boulder that size in your locker room.
Well, it's so true, Doris. Thanks. Lowry against Westbrook. Johnson with a screen on Hart. And Fields kicks to Johnson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, when Amir Johnson was drafted as a high school player back in 2005, he was listed at 6'9" then, but if you look at him, you can tell he's grown quite a bit since then.
And, getting back to Amir Johnson, Steve, you mentioned his growth. But where he needs to get bigger is adding to his base, below the waist. He's got to get stronger because he gets pushed off of his position too easily inside. And that actually forces him to get into foul trouble sometimes.
On offense, here are the Thunder. They're on a 16-6 run. Durant, the pass to Ibaka. And then get it done.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher, there's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played, inside. I mean, if you can go over the top like that, you've got a great advantage.
Here's Bargnani. Scooped up. Out to DeRozan. DeRozan gets a screen from Johnson. Second chance shot. He lays it in with a soft touch. DeRozan's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And did you see the pick there? Got him wide open all the way to the rim.
Harden kicks to Ibaka. Great look there, but off target.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Thunder out in front, up by 16. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports as the NBA season revs up. Let's get into the halftime report. Oklahoma City up on top against Toronto. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. We've watched Kevin Durant doing pretty much whatever he wants against the Raptors. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the league can shoot the ball like that. It's been a disappointment, though, for the Raptors so far. They've been getting roundly outplayed up to this point, and they'll need a bounce-back effort to make up for it in the second half. A slow go so far from Kyle Lowry. It hasn't been pretty. He's only got 1 make from the field. And let's look ahead at the games that won't be tipping off until later tonight. Out in Denver, it'll be the Nuggets against the Pistons. A good buzz always happening for that matchup. 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific is the tip time. And the other game tipping off later, for the Magic, they'll be up against the Bulls in Chicago. That one tips off at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's it for us here in the studio. Time to send it on back out to Kevin Harlan and the gang for the start of the second half.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
Well, right now he's the playmaker that every team wants. He's seen the play happen before it actually occurs. Racking up the assists.
And I like, Steve, how he's made a concerted effort to really get everybody else on the floor involved. And it's really paid off well for him.
The front line, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins. Russell Westbrook and James Harden, the terrific tandem in the backcourt. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
Well, Lowry is one of the scrappiest players in the game, Kevin. He's gotten to the point of being one of the best players at his position. And yet he still approaches the game with that chip on his shoulder, that fight for every possession mentality that he came into the league with.
I call that playing with a hungry edge, Steve. He's a physical guy despite his small stature. Very, very strong. He's got some pit bull in him. And he's never one to shy away from contact. You see it all in the charges he draws.
The shot's good from Westbrook. Westbrook's got 17 now.
The Thunder were really the cream of the crop in the West last year. And in large part, it was due to their ability to shoot the basketball. I mean, they ended up with the third highest field goal percentage in the league.
Here's DeRozan. From 16 feet away, he cans it. He's got 8.
Well, that's his shot. He is really proficient from that mid-range.
Westbrook dishes to Ibaka. Back to Westbrook. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Good. Westbrook's got 19 points. Well, if you look at the Thunder, mostly a team of jump shooters. That is really impressive, Steve, to finish that high in the percentages.
Well, it just gives you an idea of how good they are as a team. They really run. They get high percentage shots in transition. They don't have a low post guy, as you mentioned, Kevin, but they've kind of found their niche. They've found their way to attack and to be effective offensively.
Kicks it out to Harden. It's Durant on the wing. Right block shot, and again it's Oklahoma City.
3 for 3. Got to like this hot start in the third quarter.
Toronto calls timeout.
You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011, and even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
Raptors trail by 18. The high post shot gets it to go. Williams has got 10 points in the game. And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
One thing you like about Amir Johnson is just how bouncy he is for a big man. And still very young. Amazing that he's going into his 8th season in the league. Still just 25 years of age.
And Westbrook, here we go.
Well, Kevin, a look here at last year in the NBA where the Raptors ranked. 12th in free throw percentage, 14th in assists. As for the rebounding numbers, not as strong as you would think. Top 20 in the league. They certainly are capable of better.
The Thunder haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
Raptors trail by 18. That's tipped. Outside Lowry. The feed to Bargnani. He's against Perkins. Fires from 14. No good from Bargnani.
And guys, of course, Amir Johnson is one of those holdovers from the days of drafting kids right out of high school. I like the fact that he continues to improve. He's adding range to his jump shot. He's getting more consistent at the foul line. And still has an awful lot of untapped potential in this game. You let him get to the rim, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You deserve that.
And he's more than capable. You're right, Clark, of providing some great highlight reel material.
Yes, sir.
And for a point guard to finish like that, I mean, that is just special.
DeRozan passes to Bargnani. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's time now to look at the NBA's top shooting teams from a season ago. In third, the Thunder.
You know, after that solid performance last year, there will be a lot of high expectations this year. And nothing stays exactly the same for a team from year to year. There are a lot of dynamics involved, particularly shooting percentage.
The first free throw is good.
I just got to say this. I mean, the Thunder fans have really been spoiled since the team moved to Oklahoma City. 4 years in, and they've made the playoffs in all but the first season.
Westbrook kicks to Harden, and that is good. Harden's got 13 points.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
Bargnani sets the screen for Williams. Over Durant. Williams' shot is off. Back to Oklahoma City. Made the playoffs. Gone deep more often than not. And talk about winning over a city when they relocated Steve from Seattle. They have done that and more.
Well, that city has really embraced the franchise, Kevin, and it helps when you've got guys like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who are not only phenomenal players to watch, but really good people who the community can embrace. So I think the love affair between the team and the community is going to last a long time.
He kicks to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. 6 to shoot. Puts it up. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Durant's got 4 rebounds in this game. It's Westbrook with the drive. Cannot hit.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Here's DeRozan. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Oh! Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there. Oh, great. And that's taking it strong right there.
Yeah, finishing in style.
You can feel a sense of anticipation when he heads for the hoop, because that's what he can do.
Special thanks to Sprite for that sweet replay. That's good. Williams has got 12 points in the game.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this one.
Gets the bucket.
Well, you look at the statistics. The mid-range jumper has the least payoff of any shot, but they've made the most of their chances here.
Yeah, defenses don't want to give up layups or open threes, so they force you into that tough mid-range area, but they're doing a good job of knocking them down right now.
Toronto calls timeout.
The thing that I like about Russell Westbrook is that he steadily improves each year. You know, he's so devastating as a penetrator and a finisher in transition, and his jump shot is getting better, too. He's not elite, but it's gotten to the point where he can hit it consistently. And that's why he's such an amazing scorer.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Nick Collison's checked in for Perkins. Cephalosha comes in for Serge Ibaka. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And Davis puts it in. The Thunder leading by 17. And when you see Westbrook pull up into that jumper, he gets wide open.
Well, you know the reason why. Defenders have to play him for the drive, so they're 2 steps off of him usually. So anytime he drives or attempts to drive, he can pull up and get space for that jumper pretty much when he wants to.
You know what makes it difficult to guard Bargnani is that he's 7 feet tall, but he's got shooting range out to about 25 feet. So the big man on the defense has to stay out with him on the perimeter, and that really opens up the floor for anything you want to do offensively.
It sure does open up the floor, Steve, and he can get into a rhythm, too. If he gets a few good looks at the hoop and he's feeling it, he'll get hot real quickly with his size and shooting touch there. It isn't much you can do to stop him. Jones checked in for Thabo Cephalosha. Then for the Raptors, Clays checked in for Landry Fields, and it's Lowry in for Jose Calderon. Bargnani a screen on Durant, stolen by Durant. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
We've seen James Harden playing a good game here. He's got 16 points, and those 4 3-pointers he's hit have helped him too.
Well, they'd be in a much different position in this game if he wasn't burying those long balls.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for Toronto. Both good from the line that time.
James Harden has become one of the best players off the bench in the NBA, and anytime you get a guy who can score like that and create offense, it's a tremendous weapon to have coming off your bench.
Here is Kleza, defended by Durant. Clock at 6. On the wing, and Durant sends it back. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. A different look for Oklahoma City. Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Collison. Ibaka comes in for Jones. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for James Harden. The Raptors also with a sub. Williams is checked in. The Thunder leading by 17. And going back to Harden, very fashion forward. It's not just the beard, it's the bow tie. Clark, the thick rim glasses.
Yeah, he calls Baron Davis his big brother, and they look like they go to the same stylist, that's for sure. I think it's the LA hipster thing, that swag that they're flowing with going on. But it's all good because Baron is a good role model for a guy like Harden. And to Harden's credit, he's latched himself to that wagon. Wow, what a turnaround from the line this had. Not one foul shot missed yet.
Well, when you have the lead and you're trying to close out games, you've got to make free throws, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Here's DeRozan. 12 points for him. And the Raptors miss again.
Well, they are getting out rebounded here, and it's showing up on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to improve upon if they're going to win this game.
Here's Westbrook. An easy 2 points on the layup. Westbrook's got 14 points here in the second half.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Here's DeRozan. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Perkins got his 3rd rebound tonight. For 3, Durant. And Davis pulls it down.
He's trying to get it going from outside.
Raptors trail by 21. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Williams kicks to Love. From outside the arc. Thunder with the rebound. With 1 on the clock. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. And as we conclude the 3rd quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Thunder opening up a huge gap. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter.
Coming up next Sunday night, DeMarcus Cousins and the Sacramento Kings take on Dwight Howard and the Los Angeles Lakers. A division rivalry in the Pacific. Hoops action.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The 4th quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Thunder put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. It seems like the court is tilted in their favor as everything keeps going in their direction. One can only assume they'll continue to add to their lead in the final quarter of play.
Doris, thank you. That was quite a run they had. Quite exemplary of what we think of when we think about that turning point. Definitely a Sprite Uncontainable Game moment.
Yeah, you won't get any argument from me, Kevin. It was as big a factor in this game as anything. You know, when a team builds up that much momentum, it just becomes so hard to turn the tide back around.
Yeah, Steve, they just kept the throttle down. They sense an area of weakness and then just continue to exploit it, never letting up.
Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this 4th quarter. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Calderon and DeRozan in the backcourt. Amir Johnson is out there with Landry Fields. And it's Davis in at the 5. Collison against Davis. Collison kicks to Jackson. Cephalosha. Oklahoma City moving it around. Here's Durant. Hits the target from 18 feet. Durant's got 25 points in the game.
My goodness, he's knocking down everything he looks at.
Calderon kicks to Johnson. Stolen by Jackson. Goes for the alley-oop. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Calderon dishes to DeRozan. No luck, and it's Oklahoma City the other way.
Another board for them, and they've got a huge advantage in that regard.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. I mean, rebounding one of the true barometers in winning basketball games, and if you rebound better, you typically are going to win ball games and do it comfortably.
Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Westbrook comes in for Reggie Jackson. Bargnani is checked in for the Raptors. Lowry comes in for Landry Fields. Calderon gets a screen from Johnson. Harden against Calderon, and there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, one of the rule changes that the league has implemented recently, you see those pump fakes where the defender jumps in the air and then the offensive player jumps into him and heaves the ball at the basket. That's not supposed to be a shooting foul anymore.
4 on the clock. Here's Lowry, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Look out the Raptors' upcoming schedule. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. And Westbrook, here we go. Dishes it to Perkins. Kicks it out to Harden. Over Calderon. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Perkins. And that's now 20 points for James Harden. Going back to that change that Clark just talked about, Steve, on that play, it's only supposed to be a foul if the player has started the shooting motion at the time of contact.
Yeah, and I actually haven't seen a huge change in the way the game is whistled in that regard, but I do like the fact that the officials have the leeway to not reward a guy for making, kind of a really awkward play that really isn't that related to the game of basketball. Jose Calderon, a great playmaker and shooter, clutch free throw shooter. Injuries have been an issue for him over the last few years, maybe limiting his mobility. But he is getting healthier now and playing awfully well.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Ibaka's checked in. And Toronto also making a switch. Terrence Williams is checked in for DeMar DeRozan.
You could see that dunk coming a mile away. Anytime he gets in that close to the bucket, it's all over.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Now here's Calderon. 6 to shoot. Feeds it to Bargnani. That falls. Nice feed this time from Jose Calderon. Calderon's got 6 assists in the game.
And when you look at Jose Calderon, I think one of the keys for him being more productive last season was that he was healthy. I mean, that allowed him to be a little quicker, helped him stay in front of opposing guards, and we know that's been an issue in the past, but being healthy helped resolve some of that.
There's the dish to Lowry. There's the triple. The rebound by Harden.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the boards. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead, and it shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
He's done an outstanding job all game long. Absolutely a great job of finding an opening against the defense.
Williams kicks to Johnson. Pass to Bargnani. He's against Perkins. The fadeaway. Johnson, the pass to Bargnani. Good! Bargnani's got 4 points in the quarter.
Slick play right there. He's so resourceful with the ball in his hands.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for Jose Calderon. Now Westbrook. Takes the lead pass. It's stolen by Johnson. The finish. And DeRozan throws it down hard.
An absolute gem of a throwdown there.
A little extra dose of flair on that one. Some style points for sure.
I give him a 10, Kevin. No question. That is a 10.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. The Thunder leading by 17. Left side Durant. The inside shot, and the jumper falls for him. Durant's got 27 points.
Now we're really seeing him pound that ball inside.
Total offensive dominance in the lane. That's 6 consecutive points coming in the paint.
He dishes it to Bargnani. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. He's got 20.
Yeah, shot is starting to fall, guys, and he's playing much better than he did in the first half.
Westbrook against Lowry. The jump hook. Westbrook kicks to Harden. Durant. Shot clock at 6. Over Williams. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
Boy, a nice little trend developing here, fellas. I mean, that's 8 of their last 10 from inside the paint.
Yeah, they're getting high percentage looks down there. Their offense is really clicking. I don't see why they wouldn't just continue to pound the ball inside.
Bargnani dishes to Williams. And another basket for Toronto.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Durant kicks to Perkins. Passes it to Ibaka. Johnson on him. Pulls up. Again, the Thunder score.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Kicks it to DeRozan. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Shot from 16. And again, it's Toronto converting. And here's Westbrook. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. And that one's good. Westbrook's got 33 points.
They're really making a point of taking it inside and scoring from close range.
Well, you have to give some of the credit, or actually the blame, I should say, to the defense. They are not doing anything in the paint area.
Lowry passes to DeRozan. Over Durant. Again, Toronto. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. Westbrook kicks to Harden. It's Durant on the wing. It's a look. And there's another one for the Thunder.
You know, he's yet to miss in the quarter. Flawless efficiency from the field. I like it.
Westbrook against Lowry. Johnson dishes to Williams. Stolen by Durant. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Man, that should definitely do it. Now it's starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, they're not just running to the finish line. They're running through the finish line right here. They're piling it on a bit.
The shot by Lowry, no good.
Not a good look at the hoop. They've got to do a better job offensively creating some space.
And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by Perkins. And that's now 37 points for Russell Westbrook.
I don't know, Clark. This looks over now.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is all but over.
Williams kicks to Bargnani. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there. And the Raptors with some changes. Calderon kicks to Kleza. Over Sampolosha. And Kleza gets it to go. Oklahoma City's gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. That's no good. Couldn't get his first shot to go. Now Lucas. stops, pops, that drops.
Now, they probably needed more of this earlier, guys. I don't think there's enough time left to get back into the game.
Guys, this is really a case of too little too late, but at least it gives them something to work off of going into the next game.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve, and Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.